Alright, listen up. Because what I'm about to tell you, we're talking about Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, two of the biggest names in boxing, and allegedly, they had a pretty serious problem go down recently. Now, before we dive in, I've got to remind you that everything here is what people are saying, what's being whispered behind the scenes, and what's being passed around. It's all alleged, unverified, and let's be real, potentially explosive. So here's what's being circulated out there. Imagine this scene: a street late at night, shadows cast by street lights, and right there in the middle of it, all Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, two guys who've trained together, worked together, but also had their fair share of differences. Apparently this wasn't just a casual run-in, no. This was something much more intense. It's being said that tensions were already high, and when these two crossed paths, things took a turn for the worse. Now again, I want to stress that this is all alleged, but it's being said that words were exchanged, harsh, heated words that quickly escalated. People who claim to have seen it or heard about it from those who did say it wasn't just a shouting match. Oh no, it went beyond that. Apparently what started as a verbal confrontation quickly turned physical. You can imagine the kind of intensity between these two. We're talking about Gervonta Davis, a man known for his explosive power in the ring, and Floyd Mayweather, who, even though he's retired, still carries that aura of invincibility. Some folks are saying it was like watching a fuse being lit, and the explosion was inevitable. Allegedly there were punches thrown, but who threw the first one? That's where things get murky. Some say it was Grant, frustrated and feeling disrespected, while others claim it was Floyd trying to show his dominance. And let's talking about a street here, not a controlled environment like a boxing gym with no refs, no rules, just raw, unfiltered emotion. Now, if you're thinking this sounds like something out of a movie, you're not alone. But the people who are spreading this story are convinced it happened just the way they're telling it. They're saying that it didn't just stop with a few punches either. According to them, there was a full-on brawl, and it took multiple people to pull these two apart. You can picture it, right? Chaos and adrenaline, bystanders trying to break it up but also not wanting to get too close because, well, who would want to get between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather? But here's the thing, this wasn't just some random altercation. It's being whispered that there's a lot more beneath the surface. Some are suggesting that this could be the result of months, maybe even years of simmering tensions. We've all seen the cracks in their relationship in the little digs and interviews, the not-so-subtle shade thrown on social media, and now it seems like all that pent-up anger might have finally boiled over in the most dramatic way possible.
Maybe who impressed you with something when you were like, oh wow. All impressed you with something?
Because all of them come with different things. Like Ryan was coming with his hook. He was strong. You know, I couldn't sit there with him. Frank, his jab was strong. No, I'm not. His left hand was strong. I don't think he really hit me with a hook. So I don't know about his hook, but his jab was decent. His footwork was okay. His footwork better than Ryan. Who else? I mean, they just all come with different styles. That's why you don't never see me fight the same style.
What about Pitbull Cruz? A lot of people want that rematch. You willing to give him a rematch? Pitbull Cruz?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, did he impress you with anything?
Yeah, he looked the sharpest last fight. He did what he had to do. He definitely could get a rematch for sure. I hope he shouldn't hate him.
Hey, during the fight, I noticed, man, you cracked a smile a couple times. What was going through your mind when you cracked a smile there?
Oh.
You know, I said during the fight, you cracked.
I heard somebody on the outside saying something about like there's no hard, like my challenge, like when I was in high school or some shit. So that's why I was like, that's what caught my attention. Like he was saying, I don't know who it was, but I couldn't find out who was saying it. When somebody kept saying something about Digital Harbor, the school I used to go to. I'm like, what? And he actually caught me when I started paying attention to that. I think he caught me with like a jab.
Oh, dang.
Hey, Tank. What's your reaction to Mayweather making the claims on X that your fight was canceled the last couple of weeks?
He's the one who told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank the tip on this stuff.
Really? How'd you know that? Just word of mouth?
I seen his people's drop by while I was running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were like spying her, kind of?
No. He got a club. He got a club called Hell Collection.
Oh, okay.
Closed at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And they saw that in the test while I was running. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me.
How frustrating has this been?
Frank, that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
What set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of the
deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing it.
Exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Ain't no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see.
He was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, you'll be world champion someday and I'll be your promoter. Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? I mean, he deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
It's not good it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
What I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. You know, Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. And I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know. It's a rocky road that we seeing what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story's gonna reveal itself, you know. But again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody said, they say the true colors of a person that's coming out, man, because they can't stand it, you know. Calm is I don't like using that word calm, you know, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows. He knows.
Lomachenko and Devin Haney for the undisputed title. You know, that was a good fight. I'm very, very glad that Devin Haney was victorious. Me and Devin sat down, you know, for us to come together and make a relationship happen. I don't want to knock championship belts because they are important. I could tell him, you could win 2 world titles, but make $250 million. Or you can win 20 world titles and make 10 million. Then when you look at Ryan and Tank, they made great money. We could have been did this, and that could have been him in the fight with Ryan Garcia.
Apparently this isn't just about one incident either. There's talk that this could be the culmination of a series of disagreements, arguments, and maybe even betrayal. Some folks are saying that there have been power struggles behind the scenes with both men trying to assert their influence and control. And when you've got 2 massive egos like Gervonta and Floyd, well, it's not hard to imagine how things could explode. Now, while all of this is swirling around, there's also the question of what happens next. People are wondering if this is just the beginning of an even bigger feud. Will we see these two face off again, but this time in a more official setting? A lot of fans are already speculating about what this could mean for the future. Could this lead to some kind of massive showdown, or is this just going to be one of those stories that fades away, leaving everyone to wonder what really happened? And speaking of wondering, you've got to ask yourself, what's the truth here? Are we hearing a blown out of proportion version of a minor scuffle, or was this really as intense as people are making it out to be? It's one of those things where, unless you were there, you can't really know for sure, but that's the thing with rumors, they take on a life of their own, and before you know it, they're all anyone can talk about. But here's the kicker, there's also talk that this whole thing might have been a setup. You heard that right, some people are whispering that this might have been staged, a way to drum up attention, to get people talking, to keep these two names in the spotlight. And if that's the case, well, it's working, isn't it? Because here we are dissecting every little detail, every alleged word and punch, trying to figure out what's real and what's just smoke and mirrors. And you know, when you think about it, it wouldn't be the first time something like this has happened in the world of boxing. We've seen it before, manufactured drama, scripted beefs, all designed to hype up the next big event. But the question remains, is that what's going on here, or is this something more genuine, more raw, more personal? Let's not forget the personalities we're dealing with. Gervonta Davis, the young hungry lion, looking to make his mark, to prove he's the best in Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated legend, the man who's done it all, seen it all. They're not just athletes, they're brands, they're icons, and when two icons clash, it's bound to create waves, whether those waves are real or just part of the show. What's also interesting is the timing of all this. Some are saying that this couldn't have come at a worse time, or maybe, depending on how you look at it, the perfect time. There are those who believe that this altercation, if it indeed happened, could have serious repercussions for both men: contracts, endorsements, public perception, everything could be at stake. And that's why some folks are suggesting that maybe, just maybe, this was all a calculated risk, a high-stakes gamble to either settle a score or to generate buzz. But then again, maybe it was just what it appears to be, a spontaneous, heated moment between two men with a lot of history and even more pride. Maybe this was just the natural outcome of months of tension, of unresolved issues, of two guys who are used to being the top dog and aren't willing to back down. It's one of those situations where you can see both sides, where the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, buried under layers of ego and ambition, and maybe even a bit of old-fashioned rivalry. And as all this plays out, you can bet that people are going to keep talking, keep speculating, keep wondering what really happened that night on that street, because that's the nature of these kinds of stories. They grab hold of our imagination, they make us question, they make us talk, and no matter what the truth is, the fact that we're all here engaged, curious, and maybe even a little bit obsessed means that whoever started this rumor, or whoever is at the center of it, has already won in a way, because in the end, it's not just about what happened, but about the story itself, about how it makes us feel, about the thrill of the unknown, the excitement of the possibility. So what's your take? Do you think this was a genuine clash of titans, or are we all just being played? Either way, one thing's for sure, this is a story that's far from over. There will be more twists, more turns, more revelations, and we'll all be here watching, waiting, and eager for the next chapter in this ongoing saga. And let's not forget the impact this could have on their careers moving forward. This alleged altercation, if it indeed took place, could possibly alter the trajectory of both men's paths. Will this lead to a renewed rivalry in the ring? Will it draw a line in the sand that both men will be forced to deal with publicly? The boxing world loves a good story, and this one is ripe with drama and potential for future clashes, whether in the media, the streets, or who knows, maybe even the ring. Some fans are already drawing lines, taking sides, debating and who was in the right and who was in the wrong. And while the truth may never fully come to light, the discussion it sparked is already making waves. People love a good controversy, and this one has all the elements to keep us talking for a long time. So what's the takeaway here? It's that in the world of boxing, where egos clash and the stakes are always high, anything can happen. Whether this alleged altercation was real, exaggerated, or fabricated, it's a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of the sport, there are real people with real emotions, and sometimes those emotions boil over in ways that shock and surprise us all. Keep your eyes and ears open, because this story is far from over. There will be more rumors, more alleged details, more twists and turns, and whether you believe every word or take it all with a grain of salt, one thing is certain: this is the kind of drama that keeps us all hooked, waiting to see what happens next. So stay tuned, because who knows what the next headline will be? Will we see a reconciliation, a deeper feud, or something completely unexpected? Only time will tell. But until then, this alleged altercation between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather will continue to be the talk of the town, the subject of endless speculation, and the story that everyone, whether they're in the boxing world or just fans of the sport, can't stop thinking about. And remember, it's all alleged. How did you feel about the clips I just shared? I think this is something that is definitely attracting the attention of people, and all of the clips were intriguing, along with my comments. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more exciting updates.